Hey, this is C&D channel. I'm Chris. This is MMA for you. I'm going to be doing my predictions for Bellator 74, which is going to happen this Friday on September 28th. The main card's on MTV2, and the prelim card is on Spike.com. The main card's actually pretty good, considering that they're holding off putting their stronger, well-known welterweights till Bellator moves to Spike. Paul Daly's not on here. Douglas Lima, David Rickles, Ben Saunders. They're not on this tournament, and those guys are definitely some. Oh, Brian Baker, that's another one too. They're all not on this tournament, so it's pretty interesting. But you got guys that can totally make a splash. Koreshkov, who's been winning on the prelims in Bellator, undefeated. Michail Tsarev, even Tim Welch, who trains at Team Quest. You never know what he brings. Nordine Taleb, I was just watching this guy beat up Pete Sell. So, all these guys are very interesting prospects. They could definitely make a name for themselves from this tournament. Undercard's actually not too bad either. Bezeja's fighting Felipe Nover, Kelvin Tiller have a women's fight. So yeah, it's actually not too bad in my opinion. Okay, let's start this off. So all the main card fights are for the welterweight-tourney opening round. So the main event has Lyman the Cyborg Good versus Judo Jim Wallhead. This is a really interesting fight. You got Wallhead, trains at Team Roughhouse. He of course has a strong judo. Stand-up's good. I remember seeing it against Rick Hahn. Get kind of sloppy at times. That's a thing. But Lyman Good, he's 27 years old. His stand-up's solid as well. He does have some pretty decent Brazilian jiu-jitsu, but one of my problems I always notice with him is that he's really content off his back. It's like he doesn't have that sense of urgency to really get back up to his feet when he's put on his back. Saw that a lot with against Ben Askren. Thinking the Rick Hahn fight too. Otherwise, it should be a fun fight. I'm picking Lyman Good to win this one. I think he'll have the superior stand up here. Should be able to throw it any takedowns if Wallhead wants to take it down to the ground. So yeah, I'll go with Lyman Good to win this one. Okay, next fight after that, Andrey Koreshkov fights Jordan Smith. The thing that's with Jordan Smith is last time we saw him pretty much is getting knocked out by David Rickles. Guy has a 17-3-1 record, 6 KO TKOs, 8 subs, trains at Victory MMA, and is 27 years old. Koreshkov, 10-0 undefeated record, 7 wins by KO TKO, 3 wins by subs. So this guy has always finished his opponent. His stand-up's good. Showed some really good knees in a previous Bellator bout. And his Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu's solid as well. I'll go with Andrey Koreshkov to win this one. Okay, next fight that, I think it's pronounced Michail Tsarev fights Tim Welch. I was reading something about Tim Welch on MMA Junkie. Seems like a fun guy. His nickname's Ketchup. He's like this Native American guy that's a redhead. Otherwise, 9-3 record, 4 wins by KO TKO, 5 wins by sub, and he's only 22 years old. He's on a 3-fight win streak, and he is a finisher. All of his wins are by finish. And he trains at Team Quest. He can, Team Quest guys. They definitely work on the wrestling a lot. And which will be really interesting because Michail Tsarev, 23-2 record, 18 of those wins are by submission. He's 26 years old and he's on a 10-fight win streak. His record's really good. His level of competition It's kind of iffy at times, though. He, of course, has strong Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He's never been past the second round. I think, which is weird because he's been to decision, but I think the fight, from what I read, the fights they went to decision were on like 2 rounds. But he's also strong off his back too, so that it's gonna be really interesting here. I'll go with Tsarev to win this one, though. Okay, and finally on the main card, Nordine Taleb fights Marius Zaromskis. This one's really hard for me to call, to be honest, because I really like Zaromskis. He's training at AK now. In his last fight against Spirit Wolf, he showed less of the brawler and more of the technical kickboxer. And he does have strong kickboxing, really good kicks. He's very creative. I mean, this guy's winning with like weird not cartwheel kicks, somersaults and whatnot, and his takedown defense is solid. Nordine Taleb, though, 8-1 record, 5 wins by KO or TKO and 3 decisions. 31 years old and 7-fight win streak. Trains at TriStar Valley Tudo. I'm going with Taleb here. Maybe I just watched this fight with Pete Sell earlier today, actually. One thing that's really noticeable, he's really big for a weight class. And Marius Zaromskis, honestly, is not a big welterweight. So I'm thinking that might play a factor here. Taleb, he had some solid kicks and some good counter-striking. So I'm going to go with Nordine Taleb here. It should be a fun fight. Hopefully it's... most likely I'll probably be contested on the feet, considering that like these guys don't have like this extensive amount of submission victories. So it should be a fun fight. I just, for some reason I'm thinking that like the size and especially the counter striking ability of Taleb is going to be able to beat Zaromskis here. Could be dead wrong. This one was really hard for me to call, though. So, yeah, but I'll go with Nordine Taleb to win this one. Okay, on to the prelim card. Should be on Spike.com. Alexander Popo-Bezerra fights Jeff Smith. Smith is interesting. 10-1 record. 7 of those wins are by sub, and the rest are by decision. He's 24 years old. 10-fight win streak because his only loss is in his first pro MMA bout. So, he's definitely a submission threat. But Bezerra also has strong Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He lost someone on Sando in a fight that was a bit lackluster. But the guy, he's pretty explosive. He has good stand-up along with his Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu being good as well. The only thing I know about Bezerra is that he can get a bit reckless at times, both standing and on the ground. He's a finisher as 4 of his wins are by KO or TKO and 8 wins are by sub. You gotta go with Bezerra to win this one. Okay, next fight after that, Derek Kennington fights Felipe Nover. I have a soft spot for Nover. He's Filipino. I'm Filipino. So that's part of the reason why I'm picking him to win here, to be honest. Kennington 6-3 record, 1 TKO and 5 subs. All wins and losses end in a finish. This guy's never been to decision in his MMA career, but he's trading wins and losses right now. With Nover, I mean, if you've seen him on like Tough and whatnot, yeah. Well, one of the things that sucks within those, he's only won 1 of his last 5 fights. Stand up solid, and his Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu solid as well. 28 years old. I'll go with Nover. I'm hoping he can get back on track here. I think he won his last fight. No, he lost to Marcin Held. So, hopefully he can get back on track here. Okay, next fight after that, Jay Haas fights Brylan Van Aartstalen. Jay Haas, .500 fighter, has a 10-10 record with 1 no contest, 5 wins by KO or TKO, 5 wins by sub, and all 10 of his losses are by submission. He's only 22 years old. 4-fight losing streak too. And Van Aartstalen, 6-4 record, all of his wins are by submission. Actually, all of his wins and losses are by submission as well. He's only won one of his last 4 MMA bouts. But, I'll go with Brylan Van Arsdalen to take the fight to the ground and get the submission on Jay Haas. Okay, next right after that, Muna Holland fights Michelle Old. This is interesting because this one's hard for me to call. Michelle Old trains at Team Quest. She's on a 2-fight win streak. The number 2 works with her well because it's 2 wins by KO or TKO, 2 wins by sub. But she also has 2 losses by KO or TKO and 2 losses by sub, and on a 2-fight win streak. 30 years old. With Muna Holland, I remember seeing her fight with Mariana Kafetz, where she knocked her out. She does have pro boxing experience and some strong boxing. She has a 5-1 record. 3 of those wins are by KO or TKO. She does have some finishing power in those hands and a 4-fight win streak. I gotta go with Muna Holland to win this one. She's old though. I wonder if she might want to take this fight to the ground though and avoid the boxing altogether from Holland. So I can definitely see that happening, but for the most part, I think Muna Holland should win this one. Okay, next fight after that, Plinio Cruz fights Kelvin Tiller. I checked different websites. Some websites say this fight's on, and some websites aren't showing this fight. So I'm gonna go with it, and hopefully it's on. Kelvin Tiller is 5-0, undefeated prospect. 1 win by TKO, 3 wins by sub. He's only 22 years old and he's a pretty athletic guy. I saw his last fight against I forgot his name, Mississippi. The guy's nickname's Mississippi, or won by Kimura, but Mississippi. He didn't tap. With Cruz, he has a 5-5 record. Says he's .500 fighter, 1 KO and 1 sub. 3 of the losses by KO or TKO. And he trades at Macaco Gold Fight Team. Guys like Charles Oliveira trained there, and he's coming off a 3-fight losing streak versus the guy who's undefeated. So I'm gonna go with Kelvin Tiller to win this one. And finally, Kenny Foster fights Claudio Ledesma. Foster's one of those guys who's he's a solid fighter. He has good wrestling, and 10-6 record, 1 TKO and 5 subs. 4 of his losses by subs, and he's trains in Bomb Squad. He actually had a 4-fight losing streak for the longest time. He just recently, I forgot against who, but he got a guillotine victory. And he's now back on the winning track. With Ledesma, he's a 6-3 record, 1 TKO and 2 subs. It's hard for me to call, and Ledesma lost his last fight, I think by split decision to Anthony Leon, if I'm not mistaken. I'll go with Claudio Ledesma to win this one. It's kind of a coin toss for me, though. Okay, that's pretty much it for my Bellator 74 predictions. If you have any comments, just leave them below, and that's it for MMA for you. Thank you guys very much.